waiting on a star. Carry moonbeams home in a jar. And be better off than you are. Or won't you rather be immune?
And welcome to a capsule edition of the Cinema Schlock Society. If you have attended the previous two entries, we watched Super Mario Bros. And Street Fighter, the latter of which was probably the most painful and most traumatic to get through. So every now and then, in order for us to mentally survive the torments and the derision, we have to give ourselves chasers every now and then, as in alcoholic terms, that's what we would apply. So we decided to watch a film. Now, chasers by our definition are films that are reputed to be bad, but are in fact actually quite good. And here we watch these films to discover if they really are as bad as their reputation suggests. Well, we decided for our first edition, we decided the much maligned Hudson Hawk, the Bruce Willis vehicle from the early 90s, which was frankly totally ridiculously advertised out to be a standard Bruce Willis actioner, when in reality it is one of the funniest freaking films I still will maintain. I laugh my ass off when I watch. And not in the sense that laughing because it's so bad, but because
it's one of those slew of movies in the early 90s where Willis could get pretty much anything greenlit and nothing could stop him. Unfortunately, this and a few other movies did start to stop it after a while.
And another director who was fresh off the heels of a cult success he had with Heathers, Michael Lehman.
Yep.
Of course, they gave him whatever project he was going for. I'm sure Willis probably saw Heathers and thought, hey, this is the guy who could probably make a adult-themed comedy, action comedy. And to his credit, he's right. Yes. So, everyone else, what was your history with Hudson Hawk? David?
This is the first time I've actually been able to watch it all the way through. Friends had been telling me about it for years. That, oh my god, it's so great, so wonderful. What the hell did I just watch? There is a level of absurdity that you actually have to suspend disbelief in order to make it through this film.
Yeah, you have to check that.
Check that reality to the
it is a requirement just to deal with the plot.
Well, even the opening scenes where you're seeing Da Vinci make the gold machine, that kind of immediately tells you the absurdity of this film. That you just pretty much ride it. I mean, the opening narrator sounds a lot like this. Sounds like he's been circumcised multiple times in order to get this voice.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Michelle.
Well, similarly, I'd seen the movie, but only in bits and pieces or out of order, so I'm very happy that I got to actually come in and watch it all as a whole, and it's definitely very enjoyable like that. Still doesn't make much more sense than it would otherwise, but that is some of the beauty of it, and it's better put together than like Street Fighter, which is just as absurd, but it not as well put together.
Yeah, we used to watch it like at least 2 or 3 times every couple of months because we loved this movie.
Yeah,
it's been actually a few years since I watched this, and it still holds true that it is one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen to me, because it's just too, I don't know if I want to call it slapstick, but
you know what, slapstick would be a very apt generalization.
But there's a lot of slapstick in it that I find hysterical, and I can never say, is it Merriweather or Mayweather? I could never hear that right.
Mayflower.
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 There we go. See, I couldn't even hear that. But yeah, they are the best thing in the movie to me because they're just completely absurd.
Yes. Neff?
I mean, it's the whole suspension of disbelief thing. It's so ingrained in the film and required. The film disregards its own suspension of belief. Like, literally, it checks its own brain at the door. Especially at the end, when Tommy shows up. And it's just like, no, I survived the crash.
I survived because there were airbags in the car.
No, there were sprinklers
and there was a sprinkler system.
And then he literally says, could you believe that? And they say, yeah, that's
probably what happened.
If they explain something that happens in its own plot, the movie is obviously just gone.
And they gave you this total Hollywood happy ending just because it's that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And if there's any kind of movie where you can accept ridiculousness, like airbags in a sprinkler system saving a man's life from falling hundreds of feet into a bloody, horrible, fiery chasm,
Exploding a couple times.
exploding a couple times.
Yeah, it's
After several lethal falls.
Yes.
it's one of those things where the movie itself basically just asks why not.
Yes.
And it's hilarious.
Yes.
It's all a lot of what was put together is good. There are really good transition gags.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where they said, why not?
This is a film that is so blissfully shameless in everything that it was doing. It leaves you to wonder if this film came out maybe at a later time, or maybe even an earlier time, would it probably might have been embraced just a bit more, because it came out like in the dawn of the 90s, and around that time people were kind of getting tired of superficiality. The 90s were a very jaded age of movies. So
It was
very jaded age in media in general.
Yeah.
That's when grunge was popular.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can tell maybe the Hollywood establishment might have been leaning away from being just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, because around the 80s, let's face it, we were awash in ridiculousness. I
This
mean,
sort of seems like it sort of seems like a little bit of leftover in a way from the 80s, because of the particular style that the movie took, and it's ridiculous and over the top, and I've always looked at it as like a live action, very violent cartoon.
yeah,
And
like something Ralph Bakshi would come up with.
Yeah, I mean Willis thought up this project with I can't remember who the other writer was. That it was not D'Souza. D'Souza came in and wrote the screenplay and basically helped with a lot of Willis's humor, because he knew how to write.
So in lieu of Street Fighter,
Yeah.
D'Souza actually does do good work. Look at his IMDb.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, Speed. The guy actually.
Well, he didn't work on Speed. Didn't work
He
on
did?
Speed. No.
What?
He did Die Hard 1 and 2. The final film that I think him and Willis worked together may have been this one. I think it may have, because he didn't work on the third one.
Okay.
But the movie, like when I used to watch it as a kid, it's absolutely absurd. It is like a cartoon. I mean, for God's sake, there are cartoon sound effects littered throughout the entire
Throughout
film.
those entire thing.
And
I mean, we have Willis as James Coburn is making ridiculous kung fu noises.
Mhm.
Willis going ah 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 ah,
and they getting slapped back and forth in the face. And the thing is, the transition gags are a bit akin to almost like a Monty Python
Yes.
type of sequence. I mean, the man jumps off with Danny Aiello at the beginning, falls probably 10 stories, and just all of a sudden lands in a chair in an apartment somewhere, and
It's like
and
yes,
he's fine.
it's like yes, they'll make it through, potentially getting their legs broken, falling through this awning. But no, screw that. We're just going to cut straight to the
just
plot
purely
progression.
absurd. It's purely absurd, but it works. And I think it is a movie out of time in a way.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that if there's like television shows that have done it, like the very quickly canceled Dana Carvey show from the mid '90s. Wonderful people. Look at who was on that show and everything, and the writing team and everything. If that was released today, it would have gone for 6-7 seasons, no problem.
I mean, this was a film that was accused at the time of being just tonally all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But now you watch it now, and you watch how shameless like it is in all of its sequences, particularly, of course, the freeway chase where he's on the hospital gurney.
With the girl looking out the window, hey, mister, are you gonna die?
It seems like once we got rid of that 90s cynicism, once we just got that out of the way and we just watched this film, it seemed like there was a clear focus of what kind of film they wanted. It seemed to me like Willis at the time had settled himself as an action star.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like he wanted to go back to he wanted to give that image, but he wanted to give back his image that they set up with Moonlighting, because Moonlighting was a comedy series.
Yeah, this was the first movie I think ever, and I may be wrong, but since this is the only movie he's actually gotten to come up with a story for at all. After this, I know it cost I know it cost them a lot of. I know it cost TriStar a lot of money to make the film.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of money on the film. There was a video game, as we
Yeah,
discussed earlier. There was a video game.
For those who
created.
do not know,
Yeah.
I know Angry Video Game Nerd has not tackled this yet. Frankly, he should. There was a Hudson Hawk video game, which I myself had the pleasure of playing, which had you go through all the heists. I didn't get far enough. It was actually pretty damn hard.
Game Genie, that shit.
Yeah. My parents were not paying for a damn Game Genie, particularly since it wasn't my Nintendo to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty damn difficult game, but it took you through the heists of the movie. So I guess it was like 4 levels.
It's one of those movies that I think if you go talk to anybody who works for any film studios and such, this is one of those movies they use as an example of this is what happens when somebody gets too big and they are able to greenlight anything. Despite the fact that it's fun and we love watching it, it is one of those lessons where studios will point out and say, well, we've done this type of thing before, letting a star get too big, and there's the movie right there. You know, and
I think this might be one of the few good things that may have come from Bruce Willis's ego.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah,
there ain't many.
I think if there's anything to way to sum up.
Maybe one. Yeah.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
I guess another one would be the whole 9 yards, not 10, the whole 9 yards, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of took a relaxed approach to
Yeah.
that. And that movie is, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, him,
Yeah.
Matthew Perry, and then
Yeah.
Pete, I think they were the heart and maybe a little touch from David Paymer.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, I think that all that combined. But that's another day.
yes.
So, but I guess we're all pretty much in agreement that Hudson Hawk does not deserve the
No.
No.
It does
the
not deserve-
rancor that it earned, that it got
Yeah.
initially from its
It's
release.
not a trash heap. It's
a very hyper stylized
It-
comedy.
It just happens to look like trash, but it's
Yeah.
not trash. It's
wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a John McClane situation.
Be able to take it for what it is and
Yeah.
interpret it in that way. You know, it doesn't take place in a world that is like ours. That you know,
It's
you
not
might-
reality.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a heightened reality, but in a comedic way, not a dramatic way. It's kind of
Yeah.
I would compare it to, you mentioned Scott Pilgrim earlier. You made a joke
Yes.
about Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim. That's
Yeah.
how I would compare it to.
Yeah, I look at this. I mean, yeah, we were actually talking about how they were able to time their heists to classic songs, and you were pointing out how actually the times of the songs do not match up
No,
at all.
Somebody looked that up, and it
Yeah,
was-
someone legitimately looked up the time of all these songs and found out that they were
very far off.
yeah.
And I was like, going, wait a minute, Xanadu was way longer than,
Yeah,
than
yeah.
they were saying.
And
No,
how
but-
would they know the Whitney Houston thing at the Super Bowl or whatever it was? For
Well,
it
yeah,
being
I
that
mean,
long?
Especially since he was in jail.
Yeah, logically,
Exactly. Yeah.
logically, he was in jail when Xanadu came out, unless, of course, you know, the prisoners in prison demanded to watch Xanadu, which I'm like, I am intrigued by what kind of prison would demand to watch Xanadu. Hell, we almost watched Xanadu on one of our cinema schlocks. But, yeah.
Still rear its ugly head.
Yeah, which somewhere down the line we might do revisited. You know, we did Grease 2 that day, but you know,
Yeah.
after the travesty of that, we couldn't survive. we couldn't make it to watch Xanadu, so
We're only human. There's
We are
only
only-
so much we
yeah.
can take.
yeah. I mean, it's
Look, it's a smaller group than it was in the last
Yeah,
video.
you notice how-
Those
yeah,
people
notice
did
how
not
many people
survive.
dropped off from.
Yeah.
This is all on the same day.
Yeah,
From the
it's
first-
nighttime outside.
It's
right
nighttime,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how many people dropped off after the travesty of Street Fighter and how sad they were of the death of Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the case, for those of us strong enough to survive, we decided to give us Hudson Hawk and Hudson Hawk
Mouthwash, basically.
mouthwash, and Hudson Hawk was a worthy mouthwash.
As soon as we cut, I'm gonna go throw up.
Oh god, you're gonna want more mouthwash. after
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
We will watch Tank Girl afterwards.
Okay.
You'll be fine. We'll watch Tank Girl afterwards. That's
All right. Well,
so.
everybody enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And definitely,
Yeah.
definitely does not deserve the rancor it earned.
No.
It's
No.
definitely a chaser.
I
All right.
didn't even check the Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm not gonna right now, but we'll post it down.
Well, yeah, at some point. Or
Yeah.
you know what? Comments and below. Do your
Yes.
research. Comment below and find out whether or not the tomato meter is justified.
Yeah, do
So
our work for us.
yeah, do our work for us.
Just bear in mind there were less
All we're
critics
doing
back
is
then,
setting up an
so.
iPad and pointing it directly at us and doing minor editorial work.
What the hell are you talking about? This is a professional film.
Yeah, you're back behind the curtain, man. We gotta pull
I am real. I am real to my viewers.
Everybody say hi to our cameraman, Bill.
Hi,
Bill.
Bill.
Don't come over here, Bill. Get back there. Back.
Bill,
stay,
Bill,
stay back there.
better see, not heard.
Yeah.
Better see, no words. Sorry, you look like a Kardashian shit. Okay? Okay? Sorry, Bill. I didn't want to be the one to tell you that, but you know.
We still love you.
We do love you. Just, we don't like seeing you.
Yeah. It's best if you stay on the other side then.
Yeah, shut up, Bill. Shut it.
All right.
Okay.
James, cut it before he tries to
Cut it?
talk.
Yeah, just go.
Cut it
Yeah.
before he tries to
All right,
talk.
bye.
Stop him.
Stop him, Bill. Bill?
I just wish Tommy were here.
No way.
That's not very nice.
No way! Yes way! Did I miss anything? Did you miss anything? You're supposed to be all cracked up at the bottom of the hill. Airbags, can you fucking believe it?
You're supposed to be blown up into fiery chunks of flesh.
Sprinkler system set up in the back. Can you fucking believe it? Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Drink your cappuccino.
Eddie, drink your coffee.
With a world saved and the secrets of Da Vinci protected, Eddie finally got his coffee.
Would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish?
A fish won't do anything but swim in a brook. He can't write his name or read a book. To fool the people is his only thought.